the Women's March versus the March for Life. These two marches held in Washington, D.C. this month reveal a clash of two Americas.
Hey, hey! Ho-ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho-ho!
With vulgar, obscene, and even blasphemous displays, the Women's March yells for unrestricted abortion, climate alarmism, and tribal anarchy.
Impeach! Remove! Fumigate!
While the Women's March is shrinking in numbers, the annual March for Life is bubbling with vitality, purpose, and hope. This year, President Trump was the first president to attend the march in person, and young faces are everywhere.
What would you say is the preeminent issue of our time?
I believe it's the abortion issue.
Killing babies.
I feel that abortion is a preeminent issue.
The sanctity of life.
What is the preeminent issue of our time?
Abortion.
I think the most important issue is I think everyone has to have a greater respect for human life.
Why would we care about each other if we don't even care about the most innocent, the most vulnerable, the infant in the womb?
We need to think about what life brings to the world and what we've lost in aborting so many children.
What is the preeminent issue, the most important issue today?
Women's rights, black rights, okay, freedom for all.
Recognizing that people have rights. Recognizing that everybody has rights, you know.
That's a really, really tough one. What's closest to my heart is gun control.
I think it's got to be climate change. Just we're facing an existential crisis, and we got a lot of men in power who don't give a about anything but making money off of the oil companies. So
Climate change is a big one, but for people in general, lack of representation.
But now there's so many issues. Climate scares. Climate is a big one.
And who for you is the greatest woman in history?
One of the greatest women is Marsha P. Johnson in the Stonewall uprisings, especially with transgender women, all that they face and all the history that's behind it.
Oh God, the greatest woman in history. Let's talk about icons today. Let's talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh boy, for me right now it's Pelosi. Right now it's Pelosi. I'm her biggest fan. She and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they are champions.
I think Hillary Clinton has proven to be a great leader. She should be president. She should be president. She's obviously was the better choice, obviously.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is really our heroine of the times.
Who is the greatest woman in history?
Well, I'm partial to Elizabeth Ann Seton because I grew up in New York City.
It has to be the Blessed Mother.
For me, Mary, being Christian.
Blessed Virgin Mary, without a doubt.
In history, Mary.
Oh, that's a tough one. I really like Phyllis Schlafly, but I also really like Mary, the Mother of God. So
Mother Mary.
Well, I'm a Roman Catholic, so my greatest hero is the Blessed Mother, the Mother of Christ.
The most popular answer was the Blessed Mother. Yet this individual at the Women's March attacked the Virgin Mary when a pro-lifer arrived with a bullhorn.
The pro-life movement is today to defend of every human being. Parenthood, 112,000 innocent children still alive. Pro-life movement here to restore.
So if you look on the website for the Women's March, they talk about how we need to smash the patriarchy. So how would you define the term patriarchy?
Patriarchy.
people in power are usually men, white, straight, cis men. The patriarchy is just the whole system of misogyny and oppression on women and just people, literally everyone else.
It's a world that is led by men.
White men in charge of everything, mostly men. The backbone to that, I think, is from religion. Not knocking religion, but knocking the people's interpretations of the Bible.
I think patriarchy is the systematic oppression of non-males in our society.
Male-dominated, when men put obstacles in everybody's way. And feminism is the antithesis of that. It means people get a chance to decide who they want to be without man-made obstacles. That's what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said.
What do you understand by the term patriarchy?
Unfortunately, I think that a lot of women harbor resentment towards men. They feel that whatever they haven't achieved is because a man hasn't allowed them to.
But I don't believe that there is this invisible patriarchy that has been organized by all men across the world to oppress women. I certainly don't feel oppressed in my daily life.
Trump is being called the most pro-life president. Is that true or false?
I believe it's true. Absolutely true.
True or false?
True.
I believe it's true.
Absolutely true. Absolutely. And to come here today, for him to do this, it's miraculous. Love it.
Trump is the most pro-life president in history. True or false?
I don't think he cares too much about anybody's life except his own.
I don't even think he knows.
So false?
False.
You think that's true or false?
Absolutely false. False. Totally false.
True.
True?
Yes, definitely. Since we've seen him, we've actually moved backwards in women's rights for probably 30 years.
Do you identify as pro-choice?
Absolutely.
I am, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I am pro-choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would there be any restrictions on abortion in your mind?
No.
Quite honestly, until we get sex education and birth control available to women, we're going to have to go no restrictions until that time.
Wow. You know, I think number one, it should be safe and it should be legal.
No. No.
None?
No.
A big one in the news right now is actually post-birth abortion.
That's
You really know?
that's absolute.
Are you in favor of any restrictions whatsoever on abortion?
No. It is totally the woman's right to choose what she wants to do. It's her body, her choice.
And partial birth abortion, post-birth abortion.
None of that has any. It's none of my business.
Okay.
Unless it's my body. It's none of my business.
What do you think of post-birth abortion? Would you put any restrictions on that?
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing?
So ridiculous.
Oh, okay. I meant like post-birth abortion. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not really informed on it.
Well, how about post-birth abortion? Is something like that?
I am in support of a woman's choice.
Do you favor any restrictions on abortion?
All restrictions. I don't think abortion is right.
What do you think about post-birth abortion?
That's a thing.
The governor of Virginia said in an interview, quote, "The infant would be delivered, the infant would be kept comfortable, the infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired, and then a discussion would ensue between the physician and the mother whether or not to kill it."
It's already alive. It's born. You can't kill it after. You can't kill it at any phase, but it's like into the world. Oh my gosh, that's horrific. I am absolutely aghast with what is being suggested now in modern times for abortion, specifically Governor Northam. I'm from Virginia, so I'm particularly disturbed by the things he's saying. If life is created, then God has a plan, and we need to trust in his plan and love all that we can.
There is a struggle for the soul of America underway. Ultimately, the struggle is between those who love God and follow his holy law, and those who love the father of lies and follow the culture of death. Which America do you want? And which America will you march for?